Congratulations, you're in the last part of Module 7, Module 7C, which is the very last presentation before completing your unit. We will take a brief look at rubrics, what they are, why you might use them, advantages and disadvantages, and some considerations to keep in mind when you design them. Most of us are familiar with rubrics as they have become widely used. As instructors of world languages, our departments may have established rubrics for specific assessments throughout the year. But, just in case, we will review here a very basic outline. First of all, rubrics are a scoring tool. They allow for standardized scoring of a subjective assessment. So, why use rubrics? Well, first of all, they're very helpful. They're helpful to students and to the instructors. They save time if well designed. They set clear expectations of achievement levels. They provide a description of the key elements of the assessment. And lastly, the rubrics provide descriptive feedback to the student, which explains the scores and highlights areas for improvement as well as areas of great progress. Like for everything, there are not just advantages, there are also some disadvantages in using rubrics. Some rubrics might be too generic or, on the other hand, be too detailed, where students and teacher get lost in the minutiae, which defeats the purpose. Designing the right rubric for each assessment takes a lot of time and practice. Finally, the use of rubrics can be considered cold and impersonal, reducing the assignment or the assessment to a score or formula, lacking in that personal touch which students so appreciate from their teachers. So, let's take a look at basic rubric design. In the green area, we will list the categories which are the key elements of the assessment or the task. In this area, a suggestion might be to consider weighting the categories if you value one element more than another. In orange, we have the performance levels. In general, there should be no more than 4 or 5. You need to give consideration to what kind of scale you will be using. Will you use a numbered scale, 1 through 5? A description of achievement using a word such as meets expectation or below expectation? Use a grade letter such as A or B, or a percentage. Finally, in the blue area, we will have little boxes which describe the criteria for reaching each performance level. We will want to keep in mind what ACTFL tells us about what we can expect our students to be able to do for each proficiency level. When looking for inspiration, we can find rubrics just about everywhere. Nationally, school districts publish their rubrics, and locally, you may want to look at your departments and also ask your colleagues. As regards designing and creating the rubric itself, you may want to look at sites such as RubyStar or Google Forms. Well, ideally, our job is not done there. Once we have given feedback to our students, we can then ask them to give us feedback on the rubric itself. Was the rubric easy for them to follow? Was it helpful? Finally, really, the best rubric is the one that works for you and your students. This is the end of Module 7C, Rubrics, and also the end of Module 7. Please take a look at all of the rubric samples at the beginning, and we will see you at the live session. Thank you.